WTIM.
WTIM, your information station. Leroy Clamola here with you. Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be with you here as we get things started today. Hope you're doing all right today as we are kicking things off with our WTIM morning show. Our special guest this morning is Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler. I want to say our live stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville and People's Bank and Trust. And Chief, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Every time I don't come in here all the time, so when I do, I feel like I'm like a pilot or an astronaut because I'm just pressing like 18 buttons trying to get on the air. But everything's blinking green, so I think we're all right today. Okay. I think we're okay.
Leroy, you always do well. So,
but it is good to see you, sir.
You too, man.
We don't get a chance to sit and do actual interviews as much as I'd like to.
No, we talk a lot, but we
do.
We don't get this, which I like.
But you guys have been keeping fairly busy as of late. I know we usually go down in January and early February and kind of talk about your year in review. But overall, looking back at 2025, let's talk a little bit about that and about some of your goals and whether or not you reached those goals last year.
I did. I got my reports here. I could throw a couple numbers at you, but yeah, the guys and girls did a great job last year. We expanded the emergency response team, got more guys on that. The CAT team is always working well. We hired a new officer, Officer Lavin, which he was a lateral, and he's doing just a fantastic job. He's got over 5 years experience, and he's just fit right in and feels like family. So it's been great. And also we hired Tyler Mahan. He actually came from Kincaid, but so he's comes from a law enforcement background. His dad was an ISP trooper for many years, and he worked in Decatur, and he's got a ton of knowledge, and he's a go-getter. He called me at 4:00 this morning about he might have something, so that meant a lot. And I like those calls, It was a good call. So,
how important are those lateral transfers as far as keeping your staff stocked, keeping things going? Because I know sometimes you run into issues with turnover and things like that, but being able to have lateral transfers, especially around the area, has got to help out quite a bit.
It is. I have a folder full of lateral transfers applications. People have called and came in and gave me applications that want to work here. So I don't need to advertise for laterals. I don't at this point. I can call and see if they landed somewhere else or if they're still interested in coming. But then again, I have to weigh it where, you have a new person who wants to be a police officer who's young and has always dreamed of becoming an officer. Do you take a lateral, or do you take a person that wants to be an officer and put them through the academy, the 16-week academy, then the 3 months of training? So my next move would be taking a new entry level and give that person a chance, because the last couple have been laterals, but we're not short-staffed. So that's the main thing. We're always, I don't think we will be. Our retention is an issue all over the place, but Taylorville Police, we don't have a retention problem. Guys want to stay here and work, so I'm happy about that.
You talk about chemistry levels and how well people work together in sports and things like that, but obviously in the police department, that's important also.
Yeah, what research shows, it starts from the top. Money always plays a key, and there are cities out there that will pay more money, but will somebody go for $10,000 a year more to be miserable, or will they stay here for $10,000 less? That's up to them, and I've seen them stay because it's the market's so competitive. They got these huge signing bonuses right now that please come join ABC Police Department and we'll give you a $25,000 bonus. I don't believe in bonuses, because if I give another officer coming in from Decatur $25,000 and I got an officer here who's got 2 more years on the job, he gets nothing, I think that just will lower morale. Yeah. And I'm not going to make that move. and I'm sure the city council would agree. The city council would not approve that. Yeah,
Probably not.
I wouldn't even
Probably
ask.
not.
I wouldn't even ask that. But we're not in that position, and I hope we don't get that way. But it always does start from the top. If the administration, for bulldogs and not treating the officers with respect and integrity, and just that and not working as a team with them and get out there on the street with them, people will leave.
Yeah, and so we go back and we look at 2025 and we look at those numbers trending. The last couple of years, they've trended downwards. Is that still the case for 2025?
It is actually. I did a survey which I thought was interesting, and I wanted to. The citizens have to speak to us, and they do, and we have great communication with them. But I had to find out what do they want, and the survey came back as they want two things. They want to see more traffic enforcement. Okay, that was the number one. Number two, they want to see more police presence, but besides that, everything else is good. And we were scored. It was a scale 1 to 5, and I think we were 4.4, which I'm happy with. We always have room to improve, but in 2025 over 2024, we were up over 350 citations, which is a lot, and we made over 3,514 traffic stops. So you make the traffic stops, but it doesn't mean you write a ticket. So out of those 3,500, just ballpark, out of those 3,500 stops, they wrote 1,050 tickets. The rest were, it's still enforcement. They get a warning, either a written warning or a verbal warning. So to me, that's just enforcement. The ones that got a ticket, that's always officer's discretion. And there's many reasons why you receive a ticket. If you're doing 40 over, you're going to get a ticket. If you're doing 12, 13 over, you probably get a warning. So, but that's up to the officers. Officers make that discretion. This is not black and white. And with crime-wise, let me see. All categories, I'm proud to say that we're still trending very high on mental health calls. We're up 109% from 2014, 109.1% in calls, and we're actually up 6.2% in thefts, which I thought we were doing good on that, but numbers don't lie. So, but all the other ones like juvenile problems are actually down. Batteries are down 57%. Sexual assaults are down 53%. Break-ins to vehicles are down 54%. And so we're down in all categories except for mental health and thefts. So I'm happy. I just got to see what the problem is with the thefts. The recovery is going strong, and that was usually the issue. Is if you got a lot of people in recovery, your thefts go down. Your burglaries go down, your break-ins go down, and it shows here. Those have went down.
Yeah.
But the thefts have gone up. But I have noticed by looking into this that the arrests that we've made for thefts are mostly people from out of town.
Okay.
They're coming from out of town. They're, Springfield, Decatur, hitting Walmart pretty hard. Yeah.
With numbers being down again this year, what do you attribute that to, and what do you credit that to?
I credit to the citizens, of keeping their eyes and ears open and calling us. And also I credit to, of course, the men and women at the police department, being active, showing up, patrolling, getting out there, being proactive when they see something, they'll make a stop and see what's going on. And I just, thefts, it kind of blew my mind, Leroy, when I did the numbers, that I thought for sure we'd be down more on thefts. But then looking at it, they're from out of towners. But all the other numbers are down because I truly believe that recovery in this community has, if you help the addict, crime doesn't go down. That's just the bottom line, because you got to support your habit. And how do you support your habit is to break the law.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. We're talking to Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from the WTIM Morning Show. And Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler is going to talk about a situation that they've ran into. And we might even talk a little bit about their Officer of the Year. We've got more of the morning show coming up in just a moment.
The Lady Tornado basketball team are on 96.5 thechill.com again this season. Listen on air or online for Lady Tornado basketball and playoff games brought to you by the Taylorville Community Credit Union, the Christian County YMCA, Rural Rentals, and Scooter's Coffee.
The purple and gold are coming your way. The Taylorville Tornadoes are going to do it today.
Hey you, it's Amanda McKay, the Director of Human Resources at Kimmer Village. Kimmer Village is hiring for residential techs now. We offer competitive pay, full benefits, paid time off, tuition assistance, and a retirement plan that invests in you. Here you're not just clocking in, you're building a future for yourself, your family, and mentoring the youth we serve. Apply today at kimmervillage.org.
This winter, your to-do list should include hot cocoa. And that's about it. No planning for repairs, no worrying about upkeep, and absolutely no hassle. Because winters in Illinois can be unforgiving with cutting winds, fast falling snow, and driveways that are never quite clear. But at Hickory Point Garden Homes, snow removal, icy driveways, and winter wear and tear are already handled. So you're not braving the cold just to get out the door. If you're ready for a winter that feels easier, see Hickory Point Garden Homes by scheduling a tour today. Click on their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com today.
Hi, this is Julie Sanchez with People's Bank and Trust. Hola, mi nombre es Julie Sanchez con People's Bank and Trust, and I am here to share information about our Save by Spending program. Save by Spending, round up, where we round your debit card purchase to the next dollar and put that change in your savings account. Also, our Save by Spending rewards program. You can earn cash back on all qualifying signature-based debit card purchases. Call 888-PBT-1954 and learn more about Save by Spending programs. At People's Bank and Trust, we put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As America celebrates its 250th birthday, Prairie Farms is honoring the heroes who serve our country and our communities. We're proud to commit $250,000 to the Folds of Honor Foundation by providing life-changing scholarships for the children and spouses of fallen or disabled service members and first responders. Look for special Folds of Honor labels on Prairie Farms white milk gallons and half gallons at your local grocery store. Then visit prairiefarms.com to learn more. Help us support those who sacrifice so much by choosing locally made Prairie Farms milk.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM, AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
At First National Bank in Taylorville, switching banks isn't a hassle. It's easy by real people who care. Find out why they've been first every time for over 70 years. By clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. Now welcome back to WTIM, your information station. Leroy Clamola here with you alongside Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler, talking to us a little bit about 2025. And you guys are always busy, always doing things. I know that you guys just recently had a big situation that could have gone crazy, but you all handled it really, really well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was the call came out at 1:47 a.m. of shots fired, and usually that's maybe some fireworks. But then what happens is when you dispatch to start getting several calls at one time, and then that it might be serious. So that was platoon D was working. So I think we had four cars working, and they shot over there and they didn't see anything. And they were just walking around, and then out of nowhere, a guy opened the door and just fired around right outside the door, and not at the officers, So, but I don't know if he knew. We asked him, and he said he didn't know they were out there. And but once they retreated, and once they retreated, they knew there was an armed suspect inside the house. They saw more movement. So then they right away, per protocol, they call administration, and then they called me up and deputy chief up, and we decided to go ahead and call in the ERT team. So we messaged them, and we were all suited up, ready to go. Start taking action around 2:45, and it was lucky. We surrounded the house. We gave commands to come outside. Kirsten Beeman Bollinger, she just got married, so whatever. I still call it Bollinger, but Beeman's a certified crisis negotiator. So she got on the bullhorn, did a great job, telling them what to do. We're not going to go away, things like that. And about 15, 20 minutes, they decided, you know what, they're surrounded, so let's go out. And they came out peacefully. And, we took them into custody, got a search warrant for the house, went inside the house, found several weapons. And, it's just, they were just being dumb, just being dumb. And one guy in there is on parole that shouldn't be around the guns, and he goes off and he's holding the gun and, allegedly shot a couple shots too. So, he's got issues because he's on parole. He just got out of prison. And the third suspect had really nothing to do with it. And that person was let go with no charges. But yeah, we were lucky that none of the bullets went anywhere and hit somebody. Most of them were fired outside in the backyard. So that was good. But still, you don't know where these bullets are going to go. And, this is just a situation that, it was, we get very few of them, so which is good. But when this happened, the team really came together, and the ERT team came out quickly, and we had really nice gear, and they suited up, and and they did tell me they looked out the window and just saw just a bunch of guys in army outfits with helmets and long guns. He said, and he goes, "Yeah, we're in trouble." So
it changes the man, I tell you.
It does. It does. When there's several people outside and with army outfits on and helmets, and it changes a man. Yeah, it does. Nowhere to go.
We've got about a minute left. Chief Wheeler, talk us a little bit about your newest Officer of the Year, Officer Petticourt, what he brings to you guys.
Oh yeah, he's a rock star, Petticourt. I'll tell you, he's making, he works 5P to 5A, and I'll tell you, usually the most humans at 4 o'clock will be winding down, right? Time to get off. But at 4:55, if he sees something, he goes after it. So he's patrolling, always on the street, making several stops, and he's had a bunch of drug arrests last year and a bunch of traffic, and he curbed a lot of crime. So he definitely deserved it.
Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Chief Wheeler, any final thoughts from this morning?
No, just everyone be safe, and that we're here for you. So give us a call.
All right, and as always, check out the Taylorville Police Department Facebook page. You guys post the most fantastic stuff on your Facebook page. I absolutely love it. I liked. I joked about the half court or the halftime. Stay home for the halftime shows.
Right. Yeah. I guess the admins I have do a great job. They do a great job.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler joining us this morning. Talk to us a little bit about 2025 and the year that they had, and then a look at the situation that they've dealt with as well. All right, we'll be back with more as Reed Kamai is out in Morrisonville today. We'll be doing an hour live from the school there this morning as well. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Our morning show brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first.
Your information station, WTIM.